And I'm back. Ooh, it's been a while. If you haven't heard, it is the current year, and it's an odd trend that we keep seeing. Anyways, if you're already in a relationship, which sadly I am not, just remember there's always room for another person, even if you're Christian, as Barcroft TV demonstrates in this lovely video. Love, don't judge. Yeah, no deal, I'm judging. That's my job here.
I met Katie in 02, 03. We clicked pretty quickly.
And you two clicked so well that Katie needed more than just your meat. In fact, she made the meat the side dish and opted for a peach to be the main course.
She came to my church, and I am a musician and she's a musician, and we quickly became really good friends. We got together as a couple and we got married in 2006.
He's the only man I've ever loved, and the only man who's ever loved me.
I mean, by only man, you're not wrong, but usually when you say only man, that implies you're not seeing anyone else, you unloyal bitch.
Not just loved me, but has cared for me and been so gentle and so kind with me.
So, now you are boasting about him, but at the same time you need someone else in your relationship. This is why we need to bring shame back, people. It's good for you.
And here we are, married 13 years later.
Churchgoers Katie and Lewis look like the perfect couple to the rest of their congregation.
Lewis and I didn't have sex before marriage. Lewis and I courted for, 6 months? That means we only held hands before we even got to a kiss.
What? You waited to hold hands? What is wrong with you? Well, at least that's not as bad as bringing another person into your oh-so-loyal relationship.
Despite their strict Pentecostal upbringing, a chance meeting introduced a third person into their lives.
I met Raquel at a baby shower that I was hired to go and cover as a photographer. I look around and the first person I see is Raquel, and she just has this big, beautiful smile.
And this is why you shouldn't let your wife go to a party without you.
And I just kind of gravitated towards her.
Aw, and Lewis is still smiling, doesn't realize that gravitate towards her means that she gravitated away from him. Poor guy.
We both felt the instant connection.
Oh, so you're saying that click with Lewis you mentioned earlier meant nothing. I mean, I knew that already, but don't say it in front of Lewis. He won't take a hint.
I married Katie knowing full well beforehand that, she was bisexual.
I never really explored it because out of fear of not having God on my side.
It's okay, you'll still get to heaven because Christians have an odd belief that all you need to do to get to heaven is accept Jesus as your savior, and that's basically it.
He just was so open and so lovingly willing to just say, you know what, I know you never explored this side of your sexuality before, and I'd love for you to explore it. As long as we set some boundaries, I'm okay with this.
Oh, she hasn't explored it as a married woman. Huh, funny how that is.
I'm kind of in the notion of if it's truly meant for you, if that person's truly meant for you, they're going to be in your life.
You know what, Lewis? You're absolutely right. That means you need to leave these women because clearly you're the third wheel in this relationship.
Katie got pregnant with Lucas in 2014. Lucas was actually born on the day of me and Katie's 1-year anniversary.
Yours and Katie's, but I thought this was a poly-amorous relationship. Yeah, Lewis, you need to get out of here while you can. You seem like a pretty decent guy. You can get another girl.
Wow, Lucas, look at that kale. Ew. Not ew.
Yeah, ew. Have you ever had kale? It tastes like dirt. I would know.
I was there at the birth with them. Me and Lewis were right beside Katie.
Lucas really just came out of nowhere.
Well, that's not true. You were in the same room as Raquel. You know exactly what went down.
We had not been able to get pregnant for 10 years. And it didn't happen until we get a third. I think that, if God, he has a sense of humor.
I'm not gonna see him tonight. I'm gonna miss you.
We became unconventional.
Well, this whole relationship is unconventional, and that anecdote about how Lewis couldn't get Katie pregnant is just because some people are luckier than others. And clearly this impregnation with another woman who just cucked Lewis just means how Lewis is now the unlucky one.
Say thank you. Thank you, God.
He has no other reality.
Yeah.
There's no explaining to him. I think he just knows that he has, 2 mamas.
No, he just doesn't understand that his father is a cuck, and he'll learn when he's older and maybe watch this video. Gotta love the immortality the internet makes things.
In the beginning, I was so sure in Katie, and our relationship is just so sure and solid that it didn't feel threatening at all.
Not threatening at all. You just need to watch this video and realize that Katie's eyes and affection lean towards Raquel. It's not very hard to see.
All three of us have felt jealousy at some point or another.
Ooh, well yeah, it tends to happen in relationships like this.
It just became clear that there was just no way that I was going to be able to maintain these two separate relationships.
Yeah, so instead of balancing two relationships, you just third-wheeled the guy you were originally married to. It's okay, buddy, I've been third-wheeled too. Well, at least my ex just brought her friend to our date.
In 2017, that's when it organically happened that, we merged and became a throuple.
Oh no, you're still a happily married couple. Oh yeah, and there's Lewis too.
Where it's just one relationship.
Yeah, it was one relationship.
Moving into a singular relationship created more harmony for the throuple, but brought new issues into the fold.
And I'm guessing you won't be mentioning the issue of Lewis not being in the so-called, throuple. I feel so dumb saying that.
I was a church kid. We were both church kids. We're all church kids. Every single step has been difficult, especially being people of faith.
And those closest to them judged their relationship.
And thank God for that. These hoes just ain't loyal anymore.
Our families don't accept it. Our families are very fundamental Christian. Our relationship is seen as an abomination
Yeah, you mentioned that. Maybe you should examine why that could possibly be.
to God. My family doesn't want to step foot in our home. They want to live in a false reality. To my family, I am still a 26-year-old single woman who is not bisexual.
It's okay, I'd be disappointed if my family member did this too, and I even believe in God. Well, I actually don't know, but still.
With Katie, Lewis and Raquel committed to their polyamorous lifestyle, the time came to be completely open about their relationship.
So you think after this relationship again, they started to be open about this relationship? Sounds like they already were open about it. Oh, that was an unintentional pun. Good on ya.
We had been in our relationship for 3 years? Completely closeted, having to hide her,
Well, yeah, if someone is married and has someone else living in the same house, usually they're a roommate. But I guess you could say this house is pretty holy, if you know what I mean.
Everyone knew that we
That's right.
lived together, that we were completely intertwined, but they didn't know everything. I felt just very, very convicted to just tell the pastors, and I did. And when I did, the pastor was very cordial.
Probably because he's a pastor and it's not his job to get pissed off at his own church.
We've had our share of backlash from the really conservative folk. He was in shock, he didn't know how to take it. That's the typical reaction for the majority of the people that we come out to.
Wonder why that is, and your kid has a pride shirt on too.
And that's when he encouraged me to find an LGBTQ affirming church. He said, please, I know they exist. We're not there as a church.
There you go, maybe he wasn't pissed, but he doesn't even want you at his church.
Having been asked to leave their Pentecostal church, they went in search of a church who would accept their.
And that church was called Be More Licks. What a great name for a gay church.
One of my colleagues said, Layla, I just met another Latina Pentecostal from the Bronx. You gotta meet her.
No you don't. Save yourself the energy.
She started sharing her story, and I remember thinking to myself, well, I definitely did not expect this.
And I didn't expect to bring back Kitty Wolf, yet here we are.
And so I'm listening, and I think my eyes are getting wider. There's still many people that would be scandalized and would even be scandalized by my acceptance of them.
Well, yeah, why would you be in a religion if you're just gonna pick and choose what parts of the Bible to follow? This is why I can't allow myself to be involved in a religion. Too many things I don't feel like following and contradictions within the book itself.
And that's okay. That's okay. I'm very grounded in my faith.
God made us all different. God made people different.
Yep, and God made Hitler too. You might see that as an inaccurate comparison, but the point is that God made sinners too. That's pretty messed up. God made people that he will supposedly torture in hell.
We love each other, and we're deciding to do something bold and courageous. I truly hope that one day we can see reconciliation with our families.
How do you judge and how do you point fingers and condemn people that don't know any other way of being.
Yes, they do. For the first minute of the video, it was talking about how Lewis and Katie had a great marriage together for like 13 years, and then it was only until Katie ate the carpet at the baby shower instead of the cake.
People are have been in polyamorous relationships for decades. They've just been private about it.
Well, I don't see how that justifies it.
So now we're in a place where it's public. This isn't a fad. This is a reality that has always been.
But you just said that people had to hide it. Could you imagine if that was because it was and still is frowned upon?
It takes a lot. There's a lot of communication involved. But I mean, we're happy where we're at.
It works for us.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have it any other way.
We wouldn't have it any other way, as she points her head towards Raquel. I can't believe Lewis isn't taking a little bit of a hint here. Well, that's the end of the video, and if that didn't convince you to bring another person into your relationship, I don't know what will. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe, and just remember that it's not gay if it's a three-way.